Good morning. The Islamic State militants confirmed the execution of one of the Japanese hostages while making a new demand in exchange for the life of the second hostage. President Park Geun-hye is scheduled to sit down with her senior aides and the newly tapped special advisors this morning to get her third year in office in high gear. Unification is the government's key word this year, and economic cooperation is the operative word. We take a look at various inter-Korean economic projects that are underway. And it's not just singing in the rain or in the showers. Koreans love to sing anywhere, anytime, and anyhow. Find out more on Korea Today, Monday, January 26, 2015.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
And good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. I'm Oh Jin-ju with Kim Min-jang and Lee Sung-jae.
Hi, Kim Young is away, far away. He's on vacation. You will have the entire week off. In the meantime, good morning to you today.
This is how the seat feels. All right. Very special.
And you have some sports news to deliver today.
Well, different seat, but same role, I guess. Right. Today is a big game. Of course, the semifinals match between the 69th ranked Korea and the 114th ranked Iraq. One win away until the Asian Cup final. So a lot of fans really looking forward to this match tonight.
Right. So, Sung-jae, what's the chances of Korea advancing to the finals this time around?
Well, no, Korea hasn't given up a single goal, believe it or not. And a lot of people are saying, well, let's hope that they can continue this. So I would say Korea, I don't want to jinx it again. I know how bad I am. Maybe a 1-0 win. They may be able to go to the final.
Right. At 6 p.m. tonight.
That's
so
right.
We will tune in for that and maybe lose our voice in the process of cheering on the Korean team. Right?
Fighting Korea, right?
All right. In the meantime, we are going to begin this morning with that gruesome news. Japan is waking up to the news that they had been dreading all weekend. The Islamic State has issued a new recording announcing the horrific beheading of one of its two Japanese captives, Haruna Yukawa, and has issued a new demand for the remaining hostage. We'll connect live to our Eunice Kim, who's following the developments for us. Eunice, Japan has confirmed the latest picture issued with an audio recording to be authentic.
That's right, Min-jung, handing deep heartache for the family of Haruna Yukawa. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has called the beheading outrageous, once again demanding the Islamic State group to release Kenji Goto, the second Japanese national they are holding.
A picture that we believe shows the murder of Haruna Yukawa has been distributed. It is an extremely painful situation. Unfortunately, at this point, we are analyzing the validity of this picture, and we believe that it is highly likely to be valid. And I have no words to express what must be an extremely painful moment for his family.
While grieving the murder, Prime Minister Abe also said saving Kenji Goto's life was now Tokyo's top priority, but he stressed that Japan would not give in to terrorism. He said the government was in possession of various information and working together with various nations for the release of Mr. Goto. IS released a still image over the weekend showing the journalist holding up a picture of the decapitated body of his friend Haruna Yukawa. In an audio recording, Goto reads a statement saying Islamic State were now altering their demands to the release of a female Iraqi prisoner being held in Jordan who had survived a 2005 suicide bombing mission. Linked to al-Qaeda, she faces the death penalty in Jordan.
Now, moving on to the domestic front, President Park Geun-hye will hold a meeting with her senior presidential aides this morning, including the newly appointed special advisors to push ahead with her policy goals for her third year in office. The president is expected to ask the officials to take the lead in enforcing her administration's three-year economic innovation plan and structural reforms in the public, labor, financial, and educational sectors. Now, in particular, President Park will call on her four special advisors, all of which are honorary positions to make sure that they contribute to state affairs and in strengthening communication with the public. And following her nomination of Lee Wan-gu as new prime minister last week, President Park is widely expected to continue on with her cabinet reshuffle as early as this Monday. Now, Seoul has expressed regret over Pyongyang's warning of, quote, stern punishment should the South fail to address thorny issues such as the distribution of anti-North Korea propaganda leaflets and the joint military drills with the U.S. The South's Unification Ministry issued a statement on Sunday calling on Pyongyang to stop distorting Seoul's efforts to improve inter-Korean ties and join the negotiating table without preconditions. Seoul also reaffirmed its commitment to end the era of confrontation and divide this year, marking the 70th anniversary of Korea's liberation from Japan's colonial rule. South Korea's rebuttal follows an announcement made earlier in the day by the North's National Defense Commission, condemning Seoul for failing to create a basic climate for dialogue.
Good Monday morning. It's time to run through the front pages of your newspapers. Now, Korea's Education Ministry said it would persuade local universities to place more emphasis on an applicant's character and integrity in future admission procedures, which has started yet another dispute in educational circles. Let's see what this whole debate is all about on 동아일보's top story here. And the headline says Education Ministry again incites university entrance chaos. So the announcement to encourage universities to raise significance of character assessments in their admissions procedures came from Hwang Woo-yeol, the Minister for Education, particularly in response to President Park Geun-hye's earlier order for government agencies to map out measures to eradicate and prevent child abuse. The ministry said the measures would first be applied to colleges of education, adding that universities that effectively cooperate with this initiative will receive financial aid as well. However, if we go ahead and look at this sub-headline, with the recent policy measures being announced by the ministry to signal a change in the college entry system every year for the next 3 years, chaos and confusion was produced among students and parents, especially as the last announcement was put forth without a detailed, specific guideline on how universities will actually screen a student's character or morale. Now we'll move on to a side article on 조선일보, and this one we're going to go to the nation's top office. The headline says Special Advisory Group and Cabinet Reshuffle to be finalized this week. So President Park Geun-hye appears likely to wrap up her small-scale cabinet reorganization as early as this week, according to ruling party officials Sunday, the latest in a series of attempts to regain public confidence in her government. In fact, the shakeup could take place as early as today, in which Park also plans to restructure her secretariat and introduce a finalized group of special advisors following criticism that she is isolated and out of touch with public sentiment. Meanwhile, the paper adds that the embattled Chief of Staff Kim Ki-chun, who has remained in office in a temporary state, may be looking at resignation as early as this week as well. And switching gears now over on to 중앙일보's story here at the bottom. We'll pull that up. This one is regarding Obama's words, and the title reads, First mention of North Korea's collapse by U.S. President Barack Obama, defining North Korea as the most isolated, the most sanctioned, and the most cut-off nation on Earth. Obama said that the regime will eventually collapse with the spread of information into the country with the help of the internet. If we go ahead and look at the article closer, Obama's strong-worded remarks were made during an interview last Thursday at the White House with 3 young YouTube personalities, hinting at Washington's desire for regime change in the North and its desire to hasten it through the internet. He also went on to say that it's very hard to sustain that kind of brutal authoritarian regime in this modern world because information will ultimately leak into the country and bring about change. However, he, with the 2 years left in office, brushed aside the military option to affect change inside the North, citing its 1 million strong army and the fear of a war on the Korean peninsula. And finally, we'll wrap with a look at the Korea Economic Daily for another side story here. This one is about a Canadian listed firm, and the headline says Canada's Sprott Asset Management to be listed in Kosdaq market. So So Sprott Asset Management, a Toronto-based hedge fund firm specializing in energy resources, is seeking to list its shares in Korea's stock market. According to investment banking sources, the fund management firm inquired with the KOSDAQ division of the Korea Exchange about possible listing. Now, once the company gets approval with the Korean Exchange authorities, it will likely list shares in the form of depositary receipts. Now, that was a look at our local headlines this Monday, and following are the stock numbers from Friday.
Now, with this year marking the 70th anniversary since Korea's liberation from Japanese colonial rule and the division of the two Koreas, President Park Geun-hye has pledged to set up practical and specific measures to lay the foundation for peaceful reunification.
That's right. And to that end, the Unification Ministry at a policy briefing last week unveiled a number of joint economic projects with the North, including a test run of a railway that cuts through the Korean border. Let's take a look at this next report to see what these economic projects might mean for the two Koreas.
With the start of 2015, expectations are on the rise about a fresh impetus to inter-Korean economic cooperation, the Trans-Korea Railway.
If North Korea cooperates with us, the Eurasia initiative could be actualized. We'll be preparing with related organizations, including the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Land, Infrastructure, and Transport.
This railroad will connect Seoul to the North Korean cities of Sinuiju and Najin. If the system is established, it will further link up with the Trans-China Railway and Russia's Trans-Siberian Railway.
The Trans-Korea Railway will be a stepping stone to creating a new distribution base. This will reduce distribution costs and set a new growth engine, ultimately placing Korea as the hub of East Asia and Eurasia.
What exactly is the Eurasia Initiative? 2 years ago, President Park Geun-hye proposed a vision for a united Eurasia, linking the two Koreas, Asia, and Europe, developing these nations further as one single economic bloc. In order to actualize the project, the major focus would be the North Korean border area Najin, where the Trans-Korea Railway ends.
Najin is near the border of both China and Russia, and it's North Korea's first special economic zone designated in 1991. The two countries showed interest in Najin, China, because they'd like to expand into the Pacific market, and Russia to secure an ice-free port. Considering their interest, North Korea designated the area as a special economic zone.
To further utilize the area, a trial run of the Najin-Hasan project was launched last November. 40,500 tons of Siberian coal have been transported from Hasan to Najin via North Korean Railway and then arrived in waters of the South Korean coastal city of Pohang by a Chinese cargo ship.
This import of 40,500 tons of coal means two things. The trial transportation could help resume Seoul inter-Korean cooperation since the May 24th sanctions. Also, this could signal an opportunity in setting up a new distribution channel connecting the entire Eurasia continent.
Under the project, North Korea has received Russia's help to construct railway and port infrastructure. Also, North Korea has gained hard currency from some of $4 million paid by South Korea to Russia for the coal. If such trilateral economic cooperation is officially launched, South Korean companies such as POSCO can import raw materials at a lower logistics cost. Experts say economic cooperation will not only materialize Eurasian initiative, but also help predict the future of a unified Korean economy.
If we can revitalize inter-Korean economic exchange, the North Korean market won't be considered a foreign market, and its population of 25 million will be added to create a domestic market of 80 million. As a result, South Korea's current challenges in recession and labor would be resolved, and it could provide the chance for Korean economy to move forward.
With anticipating progress in inter-Korean economic cooperation, we need to take a look at the Kaesong Industrial Complex, a major symbol of inter-Korean economic cooperation. It opened in 2004, and currently it hosts 125 South Korean companies and 50,000 North Korean workers. Despite temporary closures due to tense inter-Korean relations, so far the complex has had a total output of nearly $4 billion.
A major advantage of the Kaesong Industrial Complex is that there's no language barrier. Also, factories and enterprises are close to each other and there's a cheap labor force. It would be ideal if only the political issues would be resolved. Because of this, businesses that moved to China for cheap labor wish to enter Kaesong Complex. We laid the initial groundwork and we plan to participate even in the second and third stages of expansion.
Analysts say that Kaesong Industrial Complex is an exemplary project separating economy and politics. And they urge for further inter-Korean exchanges and cooperation based on economy.
In order to reduce unification cost, we need to narrow the economic gap between the two Koreas. The best way to minimize the cost of unification in the future is to strengthen Pyongyang's economic autonomy via inter-Korean economic corporations. So South-North economic cooperation is a crucial factor in preparing for unification.
Still ahead on Korea Today, you might have noticed that Koreans love to sing, whether it be at gatherings and outings, and there are also a lot of places with those singing machines where people can practice belting out tunes. So why is it that Koreans all seem to love singing? Well, we'll bring you some answers on #CuriousInKorea.
Why is it that Koreans love to sing so much?
We'll find
out. Well, the weather this weekend was quite warm and toasty, just the way I like it personally.
Right. It was pleasant, but we received rain yesterday and overnight, and you might imagine that temperatures will go down, but actually it's going to get warmer today. Let's toss things over to our Chun Sung-cho for the weather forecast. Good morning, Sung-cho.
Good morning to you, Sung-cho.
Good morning, guys. It was a rainy, cloudy day all around the nation yesterday with warmer than average temperatures. Even right now, it's quite foggy here around the Hangang River area. I can't even hardly see the lights on the other side of the river. And a fine drizzle is swirling through the air, soaking streets and buildings. You gotta keep in mind two things when you're driving this morning. First, wet roads, which can be quite slippery, and also the heavy fog, especially in the west and south coastal regions and parts of the inland areas. Visibility can be as poor as less than 100 meters, so pay extra attention on the road this morning. The wet conditions have subsided in most areas now, except for Gyeongsang-Namdo and Gyeongsangbuk-do provinces, where less than 5 millimeters of sprinkles are yet to come. And the eastern Gangwon-do province is facing, again, another round of heavy snowfall tomorrow through Wednesday. And here in Seoul, the conditions are quite comfortable at 5 degrees Celsius. And with that, let's take a closer look at today's temperature readings around the nation. Today's afternoon is looking warm all across the country, with midday highs ranging from 7 to 15 degrees Celsius. But enjoy the warmth while you can. Things will get colder starting tomorrow. This is all for me with the weather forecast. Back to the studio, Minjang.
Thank you, Sung-cho. We'll check back in with our Eunice Kim for a look through other global headlines we're following at this hour. Good morning again, Eunice.
Hello.
Now, a general election in Greece has turned historic as voters there elected a radical leftist political party and, in turn, a new prime minister.
That's right. Just about an hour ago, incumbent Prime Minister Antonis Samara conceded defeat to the anti-austerity Syriza party and its leader, Alexis Tsipras, who is poised to become Greece's next leader. 40-year-old Tsipras said his party's win was an end to austerity and humiliation for the nation. He had pledged to renegotiate Greece's debt arrangement tied to European austerity measures on Greece since after the country received bailouts in 2010. Now, early results showed the Syriza party in a clear lead with a possibility of clenching a majority in the country's parliament, a win of between 149 to 150 seats from the 300 available, according to the Interior Ministry. The ruling New Democracy Party was trailing at a distant second with less than 28% of the ballots. The Greek election is being watched closely as a victory for the radical leftist party could spur other such political parties across Europe to rise up.
Now, over in India, some significant progress for U.S.-India relations. President Obama is there for a visit, and he has a busy agenda.
Yeah, he and First Lady Michelle Obama were invited by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who had invited them as guests of honor in the country's Republic Day celebrations. Now, they were welcomed warmly. Prime Minister Modi even breaking protocol to meet and hug President Obama as he landed in New Delhi on Sunday. On the first day of his trip, the two leaders declared an era of new trust, noting a breakthrough in understanding, particularly on nuclear issues. The two countries announced they would clear past disagreements that would unlock billions of dollars in nuclear trade, allowing American companies to supply India with civilian nuclear technology.
We'll have to leave it at that. Thank you, Eunice, for that.
Sure thing.
And still to come on Korea Today, how are you doing with your New Year's resolutions? We've got a stop-motion clip made with 10,000 Post-its that shows how many of the resolutions end up. Plus a fun prank that daddy and kids pull on mom. All of this and much more coming up on Viral Feed.
Now, Dongdaemun Design Plaza opened its doors a few months ago, and it's featuring a rare exhibition with works from Korea's Kansong Museum. Now, this is the first time that works from Kansong Museum has been taken outside the museum, and it's added a little bit something new to this exhibition. And joining us now is our Im Yuni for more. Good morning.
Good morning. So the Kansong Museum has one of Korea's most prized, most extensive collections of cultural artifacts, and many people know people wait an hour line for hours just to get a glimpse of it at the Seongbuk-dong location. But now that they have it at the DDP, it's much more accessible. So today I have a look at the exhibition, which features the third edition to their series, but also I have a look at another exhibition featuring some of Korea's most up-and-coming Korean contemporary artists. So here's a look. A beautiful Mount Kumgang set against a fall background. This is a work by Kyomjae, one of Korea's first landscape painters. He was followed by Shim Se-jung, a second-generation landscape painter, and of course, Kim Hong-do in the third generation. These are some of the most precious landscape paintings of Korea. They're all part of an exhibition at the Kansong Museum on display at Dongdaemun Design Plaza.
You can see Jung-sun's originality and Shim Se-jung's talent. Because of the high quality of their works, they were considered masters of the form.
In an exhibition south of the river, the works of 4 up-and-coming Korean artists are being shown. The artists are this year's winners of the prestigious annual Songun Art Award at the Songun Art Space, which has dedicated itself to seeking new talents in contemporary art in the 21st century.
So it's not just the award or the prize money that these up-and-coming artists will be receiving. They'll also get the chance to actually exhibit their stuffs at the museum.
Exactly, which is very important, especially for up-and-coming budding artists. So it's a huge opportunity for them to have their work shown. But of the 4 being shown, 1 grand prize winner is picked as well, and they'll have their work shown on a solo exhibition later on. And so that's another huge opportunity for these artists, because there's that saying that, the struggling young artist, it's really a a true thing. And so this is kind of an ability for them to get their career up and going.
A great opportunity. And let's go back to the first exhibition. The Kansong Museum is a very reputable museum in Korea. Tell us more about this museum.
Right, so this museum has some of Korea's most prized national treasures. And so this particular one is showing 90 different pieces. But the museum itself, some of them date back to the Joseon dynasties, very historical works there being shown. But this exhibition is being offered for free with even an English free audio guide. And so for those interested in learning about Korea's landscape painting, the history behind it, some of the most significant landscape painters, this is a perfect exhibition to go to.
It really captures the subtle beauty of Korea's landscape, right? All right, thank you, Uni, for that report.
Always a pleasure.
U.S. Disney animation film Big Hero was recently released in Korea January 21st.
That's right. It features Go-Go, the first Korean-based Disney character, Go-Go. Do you like that name?
I love it.
Sami Soraka has more on this. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. That's right. Go-Go, it's supposed to refer to her fast-paced, speedy character. And then what's interesting is that Go-Go is also designed by the creators, the same team who created Anna and Elsa for the film Frozen. So let's have a look at the film. Big Hero is about 6 superheroes that come together to combat a villain, and Go-Go is one of the 2 females on the team. Now, Go-Go is Japanese in the original Marvel comics, but according to the film's character design supervisor Kim Sang-jin, they decided to make her Korean for the film. They referred to Korean actress Bae-duna for the facial features and Korean speed skaters for the body. Disney went with a Korean voice as well, casting Korean-American actress Jamie Tong for Go-Go's voice in the English version.
And I see a striking resemblance between Go-Go and you, Misa.
Me? Oh, with the short hair.
And I also heard that actor Daniel Henney will be doing one of the voices of the character.
Yeah, so hottie Daniel Henney, he's doing the voice for one of the superheroes' brother in the English version, not the Korean version though. For the Korean version, there's another voice actor.
It's not just the short hair, it's the attitude. Gum-chewing attitude.
And also always on the hurry, always on the go, that's me. Meanwhile, an increasing number of students are doing a U-turn and going back to community colleges after getting a 4-year bachelor's degree. So if we have a look at this chart here, these are the number of students with a bachelor's degree that have accepted early admission offers to 2 or 3-year community colleges. You can see that the number has increased by more than 30% since 2013. And experts believe that this is largely due to the high unemployment rate, saying that the majority of these students have found it hard to find a job with just their undergraduate degrees and have therefore come back to community colleges to get degrees with a higher graduate employment rate, such as nursing, dental technician, early childhood education, and so on. And wrapping up, a bronze statue of Korean author will be erected in St. Petersburg, Russia. So the plan is part of a wider effort to strengthen ties between Korea and Russia and follows the unveiling of Russian writer Alexander Pushkin's statue in Seoul back in 2013. Park Kyung-ni was a prominent Korean novelist, most known for writing the 20-volume Toji, also called The Land, which is an epic saga set in 19th to 20th century Korea. Park Kyung-ni's statue will be installed at the 300th Anniversary Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia by the end of this year.
The novel that she wrote, Toji, is such a widely read book.
Right. It is. Have you read it?
Of course. I'm a Korean major.
Oh, of course. You must read it back to front as well.
Exactly. And this is particularly significant, I suppose, because it's the 25th anniversary this year of diplomatic relations between Korea and Russia.
Absolutely. So literary critics are saying that now is a perfect time, now or never, now's a perfect time to work on a Russian translation of Toji, and that it'll give a good background, a deeper understanding for Russians
of Korea's modern history. And it can also be a boost to cultural exchanges between the two countries.
Absolutely. That's right.
Thank you, Arirang.
You're welcome.
On Tuesday, January 20th, Seattle Mariners closer Fernando Rodney visited the Songpa Little League team and the preliminary Korean Little League World Series team. Bonded by the Shoot the Arrow ceremony, Fernando Rodney watched the kids play and taught them a thing or two about being a professional baseball player. A memorable meeting between a big leaguer and the little leaguers at the Chamsi Little League field. Just want to be, professional baseball players like you, play in the major leagues. I mean, what did you tell them? What are some of the tips you told them?
Is respect the coach, discipline, and listen your dad and your mind, and that's how I get here.
Right.
Do that way, the right way, respect and working hard, dedicating, because if you dedicate on that, you can take advantage in the future.
Impressed with the level of skills these kids showed and their hunger to become a professional baseball player, Fernando Rodney sat down with me at the end of the day to talk about what he saw. Now, Fernando, you were able to meet up with these young kids, Little League baseball team from Songpa, future Korean Little League team. What'd you think about them?
That's nice. I feel proud when I come here to be part of the group, the Little League title kid today, and I don't know, that's the future. When you have people like that, like group the people like that, they need some guy like me, maybe can be somebody else, introduce you, sir. That's gonna be the motivator for the future for the kid.
You've seen Little League baseball players in the U.S. Now you've seen Little League baseball players here in Korea. What are the difference between the kids back in the States and here in Korea?
But the difference here and here is that this kid, when they go out to play, they show up like they hungry. They wanna do something. They have a plan to when they go to the field. They know they have a family out of the country. They want to show everybody here. We come here for some reason.
Now, if you could give one last tip to all the kids who wants to be a major leaguer just like you, Fernando, what would you tell them?
Just follow who is Fernando Rodney, how he been doing, how we be patient, what we've been doing for the community, help people. Like I've been doing today here. I don't know, I got in my mind I'm gonna be to Korea to do this, something like that, but you never know what's gonna happen. That's happened today, and I'm proud, happy to be here.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and best of luck to your 2015 season with the Seattle Mariners.
No, it's ready. Physically and mentally, that's more I need. And try to get healthy all season long, because when you're healthy, you can do your job, but when you're not healthy, nothing you can do. But I feel in the right way right now, like 90%. I think when the season starts, I'm gonna be ready to show up who is Fernando Rodney.
All right, thank you for joining us, Fernando.
Thank you, guys.
And of course, once again, that was Fernando Rodney of the Seattle Mariners joining us here on Korea Today. All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you
very much. Very cold, right?
A little bit.
It's very cold.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Simon OO with Viral Feed. OO, does that not work? It's not a good superhero name. I'm gonna have to work on that. That said, though, I don't have to work on this. A number of amazing stories to share with you that have gotten people talking on the internet. Let's get right to our first story, a diary. Many of us have bought these things, right? Now, I can scarcely believe it, but it's already the last week of January. And so I have to ask you, we've all bought our diaries, we've all written down our resolutions for the new year. How well have you been sticking to them? We take liberties here and there, right? Don't worry though, you're not alone, and the stop motion video we're about to watch is going to show you what I mean. Let's have a look. Now, this list of New Year's resolutions includes dieting, saving some money, and studying English. So let's start with the diet. How does it go? The determination gauge on the right, as you can see, drops as months pass, and it's more about eating food than hitting the treadmill. What about saving up a little money then? At first, the money goes into the piggy bank, and all is well. But after a while, you start noticing the things that you want to buy, and the money's moving the other way. There you go. All that's left is a shopping spree. This is a big must-do for a lot of our viewers, actually, studying English. At first, you have the desk and the chair and the books, and everything works out fine. But after a while, once again, that determination just lags a little bit. Because it's so much easier to just watch some TV, right? That's it, though. I like how this video ends. It's a positive note. Don't worry if you've not been that great with your resolutions, because every day is the beginning of a new year. Isn't that a nice thought to begin with?
I mean, this video is just mind-blowingly
Think of all the work
well-made.
that went into this. And I think if you put half as much effort as it took to make that video into dieting or saving a little money or
learning English,
studying, maybe it would have worked a little better. But
Really a lot
again,
of patience too to make all that, right?
I think so, but again, I just love the message that they end with, the idea that every day is the beginning of a new year. I think it's something we keep in mind. My resolution to lose a little weight hasn't been going so well yet, but I'm going to keep this one in mind. Alrighty, let's go on to our next story. We have looked at some amazing ads here in Korea. Let's have a question now. If you had to choose a soccer team to save not just your life, but the entire planet, what would your lineup look like? Well, the legendary Beckenbauer of Germany decides to go with Messi, Ronaldo, Rooney, and Korea's own Lee Chung-yong. Let's have a look at this ad. A strange message makes its way down to Earth.
Today, science fiction.
We see mysterious figures making their way to a pitch.
Aliens have arrived.
Look at this. Can you feel the tension building? Messi, Rooney, Ronaldo, even more stars. They make up the final 11 or the Galaxy 11.
They don't even look like soccer players.
Doesn't this look like a blockbuster sci-fi movie?
Exactly.
Now, who's going to lead this crack squad? Well, again, it's the German legend Franz Beckenbauer, maybe the biggest star of all on this screen. With the press of a button, the training begins. First task, destroy the targets and get past the obstacles. As you can see, it's no problem for the stars. Have a look at this. What is that? Is that a soccer ball or a robot? It seems to be trying to wreak some sabotage on the training center. What's going to happen here? Beckenbauer springs into action and his men are on the job. Is that a soccer ball or is it an evil robot?
A bomb.
Is it a bomb? Apparently so, but don't worry, because our stars, after a series of beautiful maneuvers and passes, take a look at that. Who's going to make the final move? It is, of course, Messi, who kicks it out of the studio.
Wow.
And it explodes. Isn't that impressive? I would watch that action movie. I totally would. So it looks like the squad are ready, but what about the upcoming match with the invading aliens? Are they going to be able to save us all? Look at
you
this
didn't
lineup.
get a call for that filming of that commercial?
I'm not much of a soccer player. I play baseball, but not much of football.
I feel like I've been encroaching on your turf here a little bit. Is it okay that I go a bit into the soccer
I don't even
talk?
know if this is football.
Seriously though, this actually is an ad for a Korean electronics company. And as you saw throughout the ad, there are some very subtle but interesting mention of smartphones or smart gadgets, and it's gathered millions of hits already. So in that sense, I think it's quite a success.
It must have cost them a fortune to get all those
But look
stars.
how every dollar is made to appear on screen. I think that's pretty impressive. Now, I don't know about you, but I love a good prank every now and then. And there's an American prankster and comedian by the name of Roman Atwood, and he recently uploaded a video that's got a lot of people talking. He seems to be a great dad, but maybe not the best husband. Have a look at what he pulled off.
Hello?
He seems pretty innocent at first as he talks on the phone with his wife, but you do get the sense that he's planning something that is up to no good.
Early this evening?
Exchange of mischievous glance with the kids, and then a truck appears.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah!
What are they getting ready for?
It's a big house.
Look at these enormous pouches of those plastic balls that they have at kiddie playgrounds. And it's not just a couple. Look at this.
Wow.
That's
a
a living
lot of
room.
fun.
That's a living room that puts amusement parks to shame. Look at this. And the kids, of course, can't get enough of it. I totally am. What, did you want this in your house? My dad was great at spending time with me, but I don't think he's ever done anything like this.
Yeah,
Okay, now time to face the music because it appears that mom's on her way home. But instead of getting scared, they hatch another plan. Take a look at this. This is priceless. I love it. Something is wrong. Oh, it's like something out of a demented Indiana Jones movie. Look at the expression on her face. Are you kidding me? She says.
Are you crazy?
Don't you love how much good humor she takes it with, though? I get the impression that this isn't the first prank that her husband has ever played on her, because you can see she likes that the kids are having fun. I don't know that my own wife.
Who does the cleaning?
Exactly. As long as he does the cleanup himself, I'm sure it's fine. But that said, I don't think my wife would have responded with as much good humor as that poor woman did.
Can you believe the kids in that household? You know, the fun that they have with dad all the time?
SJ, you asked about the cleanup. If it were me, I think I would just live here forever. Just keep it like this. Why would you fix it? It's perfect. Anyhow, that's one of the pranks that had people talking. And now our final video, something not so serious perhaps, but a lot more beautiful. Nature can sometimes offer some of the most breathtaking images, and here's one that really needs no further explanation. Enjoy. This video was filmed by the Dutch drone technician and videographer Henk van Boyen. What is that undulating odd form on the horizon? Can you make it out?
Oh, don't say that. Oh, that grossed me out.
Are they bugs? Not bugs. Isn't that beautiful? Look at it. It looks almost like CGI, but
Until I know what it is, I don't think I'm gonna enjoy this video.
Perhaps this will make you feel a little better. This is the same swarm taken from a little bit closer by another videographer. It's a swarm of starlings, birds, millions of them flocking together, and look how they move together.
How can they move in such a uniform?
Isn't it beautiful? Well, I'm told that starlings, they travel in these enormous flocks, but apparently they react to the 6 or 7 neighbors closest to them. So that's how they appear to move, as you can see in this beautiful video, as one. Now, I was a little bit sleepy when I first saw this video, but it woke me right up, because look how beautiful it is.
Can you believe how much dung there would be at the bottom of
I don't want to be
a romantic sentiment.
Exactly.
A romantic, that would be a lot of guano, you're right. That's way to ruin the romantic the sense of wonder and amazement.
Once again, who does the cleaning, right?
Who does the cleanup? That's it though. We've had some amazing works of man-made art on this segment, Viral Feed, before, but this video reminds me, you know, everything we do, sometimes Mother Nature just does that and tops it all. Anyhow, that's it for me this week with Viral Feed. I'll be seeing you next week with more. Hope you had fun.
I mean, personally, I like singing in the shower just because no one else can hear me. But the rest of the country seems to like singing in front of everyone.
Right. I actually wanted to be a singer when I was young, but as I grew
up, you know we're gonna ask that. You know we're gonna ask that.
We're asking for that
next time.
All right, Megan Bowen joins us this morning. Hi. Do you like to sing?
I do like to sing, but maybe not quite as much as Korean people. When I first came, I joined a lot of groups because I wanted to learn Korean. And so whenever we met up, they're like, okay, tell us your name and birthday and then sing your favorite song.
Right.
And I was like, where did this come from? And then, like, all the Korean people go and they sing so shamelessly. So I'd always wondered about like the singing, you know, culture in Korea. So.
All right, and you went to find that out, so
Right,
we'll check it out.
Explosive range and heartfelt tone, audition programs searching for the next hidden gem among singers are enjoying enormous popularity these days.
Oh, that's tricky.
There are more participants than you can count, each with impressive singing skills. So I asked some Koreans on the street why they enjoy singing so much.
유전자가 그렇게 타고난 거 아닐까요? 기쁠 때나 슬플 때나 다 노래로 해결하고 헷갈려하는 것 같아서.
요즘 노래 프로그램도 많고 그런 것 때문에.
이렇게 길거리에 막 노래방 같은 것도 많고 그래서 그런 거 아닐까요?
Noraebang, or singing rooms, can be seen everywhere in Korea. There are over 30,000 of them nationwide. Wow. Right. And Noraebang have long since taken their place as an aspect of culture enjoyed by people regardless of age or gender. That baby is so cute. Because of this, some Noraebang have been branching out to differentiate themselves, so I went to visit one of them. Here's a taxi Noraebang. It looks ordinary from the outside, but it's a great place to belt out a tune.
2,000원 딸리는 노래방 택시인데요.
Never been on one of them.
와,
find it, right?
신기해. 내 밖에서 몰랐는데 안에 조명도 있어서 진짜 노래방 같아요. 신기해요.
There's a microphone, list of songs, tambourine, check, everything is there. You have everything you need and more.
이 100점이 나오면은 택시비가 무료예요.
그래요?
Yeah.
알겠다! Oh. So I was determined to get my 100 points. I love Korean music, but it was my first time singing in a taxi, so I was a little bit nervous.
The classic trot song.
Right.
You're entertaining the driver.
I did my best, and I was hoping for a good score, but
100?
Ooh, drum roll.
No!
Pretty bad.
It's passing.
Do you get a second chance?
Yeah, the whole ride you can sing. So, of course, naturally, I tried again to sing a new song.
You're all alone, are you not?
People's reactions are all different, but Koreans do love to party. Think how great it is to release all the stress you've built up by relaxing during a taxi ride. When I see how happy my passengers are when they arrive at their destination, there's no better feeling.
Well, you do look pretty lonely.
So, what do you think my score was?
89.
Yes!
No taxi fee for you.
Wow.
Yes, that was one of the best taxi rides of my life. I really hope everyone can get a chance to experience the taxi Noraebang. And my next destination was an indoor playground where the main clients are mostly children. So it was filled with children of all ages, playing with the toys offered, looking so cute. But then I heard someone singing.
Oh, they're singing inside. Let's go.
A Noraebang in an indoor playground. Wow, it really gives you an idea of how much Koreans love singing, doesn't it?
Look at the subtle moves.
The subtle moves.
So into it.
They are. So they grabbed the mics and sang their hearts out like the pros. And I even met a girl who had dance moves that will put a girl group members to shame. This young lady is an aspiring singer.
I want to become a singer because I want to sing on television.
I practice singing and dancing to participate in a contest.
According to a survey held by an education site, the top profession favored by elementary school students is an entertainer or a celebrity.
Wow.
And most of those students wanted to become singers. And Koreans really enjoy singing almost regardless of the setting it is in. For example, it's a fine way to introduce yourself to an unfamiliar crowd, like I've had to do on several occasions. And among friends, singing is a way to boost camaraderie, and of course, it's a great relief for the stress and fatigue you can build up when you work so hard.
I'm one of those people, actually.
You are. And that's not all. The history of working songs in Korea is a long and storied one. The ancient custom of easing the pain of work by singing together still remains. And you can easily find people singing in farming or fishing regions of the country. Music for Koreans is simply an indispensable part of day-to-day life.
The goat sings too. Korean goats also
The goats
like to sing.
sing.
Background music.
So as a result, Korea is also a place where more and more people want to sing and sing well. There are 200 women singing together and becoming one, and they are mostly homemakers in their 40s. They're really into it. And they gather every Monday for the singing class.
사랑은 그때 완성되니까.
So much soul.
Right.
And vibration.
I'm told that this class is a great way to improve your singing skills, but that's just part of the reason why so many people participate.
제가 너무 움츠려가지고 더 정확하게 가르쳐주고 더 즐겁게 가르쳐주고 쉽게 가르쳐주고.
It's not just about the lessons. There are also plenty of occasions to dance, and everyone has a great time. Right, so even those who aren't the most gifted singers can join in on the fun. Singing classes have long since taken their place as an important part of culture centers that serve homemakers.
I know where my mom goes now. Every Monday.
한 10년은 더 살 것 같아. 너무 좋아서 스트레스 확 풀리고 너무너무 좋아. 뭐라고 말할 수가 없어.
기분이 막 우울할 때라든가 마음이 답답할 때라든가 그럴 때는 이렇게 노래 부르고 나면 가슴도 트이고 기분도 이제 업되고 그렇죠.
Koreans really do love singing, regardless of age or gender, and in almost any setting. It was a great chance for me to absorb some of their positive musical energy.
Wow, 200-something women singing in one room. SJ, would you like to be the only guy
there?
I might bump into my mom there.
Hi, Mom. That would be even more fun, little, mother-son singing action.
It looks like you had a lot of fun doing this report.
It was so much fun, especially in the taxi to experience that. And when the 100 came, I was like, yeah.
So you didn't pay for the fare?
Right, I
taxi
didn't
fare.
pay for the fare, so that was awesome. He was true to his word. So you should take it to the airport from far away and then sing really well. Sing really well.
And there's a saying in Korea that there's an energy of excitement that flows in the veins of Korean people.
I think it's true.
Even in ancient texts, it explains that Koreans excel at singing and dancing.
And I think it's true. You can feel the energy because I'm sorry, you said you liked baseball earlier, but I hate baseball in America.
Excuse me?
But in Korea, when you go to baseball games, everybody's just
it's more like a
singing the chants,
right? Exactly.
So you just go there and eat food with your friends and you sing the songs, and it's such a fun experience, and you can get so much energy from the singing.
That's actually where I do most of my singing at the
at
baseball stadiums.
Right.
And, you do improve singing after going to all those baseball games. But, what I was kind of impressed about was the playground, the play area for the kids. I was like, there's no way there's a norebang inside the playground. It's no wonder these kids all want to be singers and celebrities now.
Right.
And all these K-pop idol stars who 21, Girls' Generation, they started singing when they were little.
That age,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so these girls, I suppose they look at them and say, if I keep on singing, I might be on TV and become rich and famous like them.
Right, for sure. And I think that, especially because Korea has so many opportunities to provide singing, I feel like, more so than in America, I feel like we do most of our singing in the car. Because we don't take public transportation that well, so we drive. But only when no one's around. When people are around, I think we're a little bit afraid to sing. But I feel like so many Korean people practice and can just sing so well, so it's amazing.
You know how in Korea there's that word 18번, right? When you go to 노래방, number 18, your favorite go-to song is
What is your go-to song?
Well, I asked you
wanted
first.
to ask
Was
her.
it
No,
Lonely?
I asked you first. Specifically came in.
You know how you sang the trot song, 어머나. I would go trot, but it's I would go.
You just have to remember not to sing a ballad.
That kind of kills it,
That
right?
kills it, and people go boo-hoo.
Especially when you go with older people.
I would have to go 샤방샤방 as my go-to-go song.
But I think it just gives us the feeling of becoming together and
Right.
becoming
Right.
one.
It does
Yeah,
Bonds, right. What's your favorite? What's
My
your
favorite
go-to?
song- My go-to song wasn't on there, but actually it's a rapping song. I like to rap.
Oh, really?
Rap.
Oh, I think
Sierra
I'd like to go for 난 알아요 as
Menbo.
well.
난 알아요.
By 서태지.
You said you wanted to be a singer. Your go-to song.
Oh, Jinja has to sing for
Jinja
us
has to
today.
sing
Okay.
for us.
I'm losing my voice. Sometime later.
Okay, sometime, some other time.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Megan, for that. It was really interesting. All right, well, that's just about does it for this edition of Korea Today.
We'll be back at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.